Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Zbunk Studios podcast. Today we have another thing different, I'm your producer Timothy.
Main man MC KC.
Before we start, you said you wanted to try something different. What inspired the thought?
What inspired the thought of the something different? Well, that leads all the way up to I was planning the week's episode, and then I came across a quote, and then this quote just changed how the whole episode would go.
Right.
So I'm gonna start off by reading this thing, and then from there we're gonna dive into this episode. The modern man has redefined masculinity to include compassion, kindness, and vulnerability. Now, this quote had me thinking, and it brought me to the question, is toxic masculinity disappearing? Now, not disappearing in the sense of completely vanishing, but becoming less and less every decade as it goes on. So, that was the question. But obviously, we'll give our opinions and
Delve into it.
dive into it later in the episode.
Dissect.
Later in the episode.
Digest.
We're first gonna go on to toxic masculinity. Of course, toxic masculinity is the negative characteristics that apply to all men, but we're firstly gonna focus on just the positive masculine traits. So some of those traits we officially know are traits like leadership, assertiveness, strength, humility, and responsibility.
Wait, source-wise, would you say
this is all things that come from it's like the social norms.
So, as a masculine man, you would be expected to have leadership.
It's leadership, strength, assertiveness, and humility, and of course, be able to take responsibility for a lot of things. Now, as you see those traits, I just want to ask you: do you think you apply with any of those traits?
Okay, leadership. I have leadership skills, obviously. I run a podcast. So honestly, leadership, yeah. Responsibility, yeah. Assertiveness, I can't say, I don't know if I'm assertive or what, but I think it's an outside thing to say. Because I think
you would know if you were assertive, because that's like when you know something and you just stick to what you know. It's like planning a date.
Oh, then you
know exactly what
you want to do
and continue
type, yeah.
And even if plans don't go,
you will find a way.
You'll find another way to
still
get there.
Type. Then yeah, assertiveness, humility. Define humility.
Then being able to acknowledge you're wrong, being able to get help from other people, and being able to
that's the second part.
You're humble enough to know you can't do this on your own, and sometimes you don't know everything.
That's the problem. It's not cause toxicness. It's my thing about how I thought a man is supposed to be someone that a pillar for the household. So if a man shows a weakness, there's a crack in this pillar. So when you don't know how to do a certain type of thing, for instance, let's take an example of one of our close friends.
I'm listening.
He knew how to bolt in a TV stand and all those stuff and whatnot. And when the girlfriend he had at this time, dad didn't know how to do it. He kind of looked like a bitch. And straight up, he said it too. He said like something as basic as
setting up a team.
Yeah, he wanted to call someone to
do it. Yeah, so yours were just like your view of someone that could do everything for the pillar of the house is like, you know how to do everything.
Not everything, but you are willing to find out how to do the shit.
Yeah, no, I think that's where humility comes in. If you're willing to learn from someone else how to do it.
Right. But it's very hard for me to ask for help.
Facts. Sometimes
I'll struggle my ass.
The best example of that, I would say, is going to a shop and looking for
something that you can't find.
The easiest thing would be just to ask one of the people there. That's what they're there for. But we'll be looking around for that thing. every aisle, every corner.
And then you walk like this, go back.
Later you're starting to think in your mind, these people are probably thinking I'm stalking
Stalking,
the place.
uh,
Like I'm scouting for something. But yeah, I think
I think
all of us
humility
need
is
a
what
big,
I'm still
all of us need a
trying to.
big dose of humility in us.
I think humility is what I'm still trying to work on because I am trying to improve. That shows humility of what people perceive as humility these days. Because every sense of those statements or like points change over time, and as the world change, the concept changes too. Because the norms today, I'm just gonna throw shit. It's gonna get very very controversial right now.
That's what we're here for.
The norms
Yeah.
right now would be transgender people, would be children dressing up as furries and stuff. Back when we were children, those weren't the norms. It was even watching anime. Even watching anime right now is the norms. Back when we was a child, it was like, oh, why are you watching these cartoons? These Chinese cartoons.
If you were a big ass person watching those things, the shade you were throwing.
Even not even as big as person, bro. Even as a child, bro.
No, but I think as a child, man, you're understandable. It's part of cartoons.
Then the question I always got is why you watching the Chinese cartoons?
But in fact, I'll be real with you. I didn't watch anime when I was young, bro. The only thing I watched that was anime, which I actually didn't know was anime, was Dragon Ball.
I watched Dragon Ball Z, Imasuma 11.
Basically, the things that
Pokemon.
were playing on TV.
Yeah.
Now I think, man, those things, man, we didn't, as a
And
child, as children, we didn't class them as
anime.
We classed them as cartoons that were playing on the cartoon channel.
Right. And then when you went to high school, you know what anime, people asking you, like, what the f you watching, bro? Why are you still watching cartoons? And you say,
I was one of those niggas. I was one of those
why are you
niggas.
still watching cartoons? And I was on the other side being asked. Now everybody glazing anime.
But at
bro.
one point, man, if you can't beat them, join them. And I was in a group of nerds. Like, I was a nerd myself, so.
Calling them there. But anyways, you see what I mean? Like how the norms change. So all those points as being a man also changed over time
Now, I want a question. You know, as fatherless children,
as fatherless children.
do you think, do you have like a sense of your father's personality or whatever, or traits?
I don't know.
Nah. Because my question would have been like, if you knew a bit of him, man, do you think he would have impacted you positively or negatively?
As it is right now, the nigga's not just so negatively. Because as it seems, oh, let me say it like this. Nigga wasn't a father to me, man. But he has children that he takes care of. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he was away from, when I saw, this is only a speculation, but I saw he was away from the other children also, but he visited them and all that shit. But so, having a father like that's not at home a lot of time, I think I would have been the same most of the time. Or maybe more feminine, because
I see you.
I didn't have a father figure. Because at this point, I do have a father figure. I have my grandfather and my other grandfather that I look up to, and I learned through
you have male figures in your life.
figures. Yeah,
Yeah,
they taught me how to be a man indirectly by being man himself.
yeah. I'll be real with you. I think like the only male figures I had in my life was what I saw on TV, because I grew up in a house full of females. It's just females, guys.
Oh, famous hell.
Y'all will not understand it. Females. And like the other niggas my same age, you can't learn anything from people your same age.
Same age, you can.
So I had no father figure except for what I saw on TV. And what I saw on TV was big strong men. So I was like, if you ain't a big strong man, you're weak.
You know it. And I grew up with my grandfather taking care of the household, being the man.
Yeah.
Both my grandparents or grandfathers are like blue collar type workers. One in the mine, one is in boiler making.
Yeah.
So it's constant like risk of life type job and stuff. And I'm a white collar at this point because I'm doing computer science. So I'm a white collar, bro. But I grew up doing blue collar jobs, cleaning the drainage, fixing windows, the windows we fixed, you see like just like blue collar type work, cleaning. When I clean, they just like heavy loads and there's a
I
type
get
of
you. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I think the most like physical work I've ever done was when I was with you or Vanilla Baby at
physical-
y'all's houses. Because I'm in a house full of females. I mean, they do things themselves, but it's not as physical as.
the guy type of.
But also, this is what I heard from someone else. I think like a place where you have a male figure is more stable than a place that is run by a female figure, and I think that's true.
I can honestly say, I don't think, as bad as it will sound, a mother can teach their son how to be a man. What I think they can teach the son is how to be a gentleman,
Yeah.
because that's what I've been taught.
Ooh, let's dive off. Do you think that's where nice guys come from?
Yeah, I think. Also, I'm not just. A father can also teach their son how to be a gentleman, for a fact.
Yeah, but I think being
But
a gentleman.
being a gentleman, of being taught by your mother of being a gentleman, is you are more sweet in some sense of like you care more,
I think
you
you're-
open more to your
you're
emotions.
pushed more to the nice guy side.
Sorry.
And you're pushed more and
To the balance of being a gentleman and
knowing when to stand your ground, nigga.
yeah,
I see.
because growing in a household like that, my mom, single mom, I was taught to open up. I didn't though, because it's just sounding me, bro. Just
That's also one thing. I think in a house of females, I only learned how to listen well and not how to communicate well. Which is so funny because, like, usually if you're in such space, you learn how to talk and be emotional. But all I learned was how to listen very well. And it's okay. I must just say, I've used those skills very well,
positively well.
positively well,
Therapist type well, bro.
into class A manipulation.
Hey. And being able to adapt to mood swings,
Bro, I was like,
it's like playing chess, bro. Playing chess against someone that doesn't know how to, bro. That's how easy. I'm just kidding. I'm making this out of.
hey, no, actually, we're not making this up. You used to do these things, bro.
Yeah, bad boy.
Bruh, cool.
Bad.
You know, like, it's at that point, man, where like people saw what John was doing, man, and then I was like, and then they looked at me and they were like, "There's no way Vanilla Baby's like that, and you're that's normal. You're friends because something
clicks.
And I'm like, you're on the right path.
You know,
I'm manipulative as heck.
do you know why I officially figured? You know, why I was as I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because in primary school, I can say it right now, they don't really get girls like that. Again, in school we can make fun of head, make fun of shoes and stuff. So when I came to high school and hormones started kicking in, and the thing was like, damn, tell me, you look good as. And I already had the foundation of being able to cook, like listen, and they like to help.
I think listening is
And
the
then
best skill you could have.
And then I took advantage, bro. Because when I first felt the power,
The power rush to the power that's rushing to your head now when you have so much control.
I didn't know what to do with it. And I didn't have a hero to teach me how to handle this power. All I knew is I can use it. I can use this power.
But yeah, anyways, we're thankful for age.
Dang, but I matured real quick. I matured real quick. It didn't last long. the whole thing that I got quick. I got not even matured. I got bored quick.
I think if you're doing it, man, at some point you are asking yourself why you're doing it. What's the satisfaction of doing
Not
it?
even what am I doing, bro? I'm wasting my time.
But yeah, anyways, for my Latinas out there thinking I'm not, I've changed. I still need
No,
to.
wait. For my Latinas, I'm very toxic. Since you guys like toxic guys, I'm very toxic. But you know,
Actually,
the thing, the thing that pisses me off is hated by association.
Oh, that's one thing. Like I've noticed, like if one member of the group is somewhere, then they just assume all of them are.
Vanilla Baby ruined. I mean, not in a bad way. Actually, F the nigga, in a bad way, ruined some chances for me. Like, I mean, like ruined.
It's like, oh, you're so my type and cute, but that only is your friend.
Your friend.
Your friend.
What do you mean? Nah, I didn't ruin my thing. Like it's to the point that you approach the hand, you
Like,
have no chance.
Like,
Everything is right. It's just your friend because of and how he acted towards.
association and all those things. But anyways, they say you are who you hang out with, so I
Yeah,
understand. I understand why people. But I'm telling you, at some point, either Vanilla Baby, we're rubbing off on him. I'm just saying, he's not rubbing off on me. I'm just saying.
But honestly, we are three different people, bro.
Oh,
Me and you are closer, ne? In personality aspect than we are to Vanilla Baby.
Yeah. That's
If he had the opportunities I had, then it would be a slut. No, then it would be a slut.
But yeah, I think we are three different personalities, but one thing joins us together. I still don't know what that one thing is, but yeah, maybe delusion.
Delusion. Delusion. And it's back to the masculine talks.
Yeah, but anyways, so we went through the traits: leadership, assertiveness, strength, humility, responsibility. I think like I have like 50s to 60% of all those things, but it's not completely 100 and it will never be 100% because there's still so much to learn and so much stress.
Never quote time. You can never ever be 100% on something when like this, because then you won't have any chance to grow more. And when you don't grow as a person, there's something wrong, bro. There's something wrong. You should be able to constantly evolve. Constantly.
But yeah, that's what I said. So those are like how people view a positive masculine man, and that's the traits that we all should have according to society, norms of society. Anyways, now we'll move on to the negative parts. You know, the toxic masculinity. Yo, sometimes guys, words are words.
Hey, we can't blame us. We had second English as a second
I
language.
had English as a second language. It's true for all my life. All I did was write essays, and my spelling was never correct.
As long as the story hit.
As long as the story hit, the point hit.
It's 7 and 8.
Sorted. But anyways, so we said toxic masculinity are the negative traits involved with masculinity. So some of these traits, hyper competitiveness. So the idea that men should always be first and the best in anything.
I'm 45 to 65. I'm 45 agreeing and 65 disagreeing. Because not everything there, but I think you should at least aspire to or try to be the best at something. It's man nature, bro. You can't tell me you looked at something and be like, and you haven't even thought about I want to be the best footballer on this planet. Even though you didn't chase the dream, man.
I think it's okay to be number one. The problem is when you make it in everything. It's like being the number one father, being the number one best friend, being the number one whatever it is.
Something like, I'm your best friend. I'm your number one best friend. There's nothing you can do about it. Number one best friend.
So I think like it's to the point where you drive people away because you're obsessed with being number one. So I think like that's what makes it toxic.
But I think you can use it in a good way too. Like you can try to be the best person you can try to be.
Like if it's you against you, it's okay. If you're trying to be better than you, but if you're trying to be better than nigga next to you, nigga behind you.
Imagine John buys you like a Rolex like 1.2 million. I come. This is an AP, $3 million. Nigga, you broke.
Now that type of thing drives people away from you, and I think it's when it comes to a point where it's driving people away from you,
That's when it
toxic.
is toxic. But if you use it in a way to improve yourself,
If it's healthy, like, like, let's say in school, I had a class. My class, we were a very competitive class when it came to academics.
Mm.
So every time the test would come out, we would always compare. And be like, you got this time you're better than me. Now watch out, next test.
the toxic part comes when you don't acknowledge it. Because as you said, that environment could have been so toxic, but you guys acknowledge like, oh, now you did better than me this time. But next time I got you though.
Well,
But if the story went like, you only got better than me because I didn't study last night, that's where you would have called it toxic.
that's also where it gets toxic. And that again leads to driving
Driving
people
people
away.
away. Now my class, we were like competitive in who can drive teachers away faster.
It's competitive.
who can do the least work? Who can talk the most?
I think our competition actually benefited us. I don't know what that benefited, but
Hey, it benefited us. We had the head girl in our class. We had the other head in our class. So it benefited us, bro. Nah, nigga, that class pisses me off sometimes. It just pisses me off sometimes. I don't
the
know.
funny thing is, y'all weren't even
Loudest.
how do you say, the naughtiest class.
It's just we were still well known, bro.
Yeah, they weren't even the naughtiest class, bro. I mean,
The C class was. The C class was, bro. But somehow they always the blame always end up on our class.
bro, the fact, man, the amount of times, man. Now there was after COVID, we moved classes to that
The other side.
that hall or whatever. Now the C class was the class like behind
you
us.
guys.
So every time, I'm telling you, constantly, we would see teachers, principals, board members walking past straight to that class.
I never hear about it, bro.
You never hear about it because they don't speak about it. But that class was trouble. Bro, there was one time the class, I don't know but they chased the teacher out of the class, bro.
And then you get asked,
I mean, even Vanilla's baby's father was there.
then you get asked, as soon as we're in trouble, everybody knows about it, bro.
Nah, I think your
knows
class
about it.
was the gossiping class, man. Y'all would get in trouble and then come gossip about it to other classes.
Not us, the females. Because we were literally 95% females and 5% people. We were 7 guys in the class and like 22 females in the class. But anyways,
But yeah, we're like going off track of things, but
2 step forward, 3 back.
okay, this one we already discussed it, but reluctance to seek help.
I think that's one of my toxic traits. But it's better these days because I'm getting lazy.
So basically, your laziness is making you look for help more.
Yeah. Because I am lazy, I'm becoming more of the ideal man in society norms.
I don't know if that's. Hey.
What works, bro? What works?
Now this one, emotional suppression. The belief that men should not show vulnerability, sadness, or fear because expressing emotions is seen as weak. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna go first. I do have emotional suppression, but not because I see it as weak, it's because I'm unable and I don't know where to start to communicate. And I feel like it would be pointless if I communicate what I feel because you wouldn't have the answer I need.
I don't think it's toxic.
As I said, if you
It
think
can be.
if you think it as weak, I think it's toxic. If you think it as weak,
I
it's like,
think
I'm not allowed to vent because that is seen as weak and I'm not allowed to
I
vent.
don't think guys see this way. I think they're scared. They're scared and they're afraid to admit it. That to be able to open to someone is scary. It's scary because if that person leaves you, they're living with all your
With all that
secrets
information.
and all the.
That's one thing I always tell a dude, man. I am 100% against venting to your girl.
My thing is, my girl needs to be able to be safe or feel safe to vent to me, né? And yeah, I'll come with a bit of problems, but I won't come with my problems.
You know, I think I'll vent, but not vent to the point where she actually knows what it is. I'll just be like, listen, things are not nice. I don't know how it's gonna get fixed, but it's gonna get fixed. Just bear with me.
I did.
There, she's just gonna know something's wrong.
Mm.
She's probably gonna ask what's wrong. I'm probably gonna guide her into what's wrong, but I'm not gonna tell her.
I tried this experiment in one of my dating back in the day. I was asked, why do I watch anime so much? Now, anime is a form of escape, yeah? But not like, oh, I'm depressed type of escape. It's just like escape. It's fun. It's my own time. It's me time. Yeah. But then I added something. I was like, no, it's a form of escape. It helps me escape my mind. It's the same with cars and stuff and stuff and stuff. And the person was like, damn, that's deep. And couldn't do nothing about it, bro. Like the female that I did it a few times, even in like talking, they couldn't
Come up with the answer.
or they couldn't comfort. They don't know how to. They couldn't comfort. And I was like, you see, what's the point of asking then? If all you're gonna say is like, damn, that's deep, or like, oh, I didn't know, and then try to change the topic.
Yeah, and
They honestly they ask for it, but when it happens, it is way too awkward, bruh.
And I'm a nigga that thinks words are useless. So it doesn't matter how hard, what type of words you use, I still feel I still feel as you are ungenuine and just there's no point to it.
Like if you're really just suck my, I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. But honestly, yeah, opening up and then people trying to comfort it is weird, bruh. It is weird.
I think,
Like, I've always dealt with my troubles alone and it worked out. It takes time.
Do I do emotional suppression? Yes. Is it getting better? We'll find out. Am I gonna change it? We'll find out.
My honest opinion is I can never say never though. Never say. But as it is right now, I don't think it will change.
I think it would. For me, personally, I think it would because I'm getting older, man. I'm getting old.
And the other thing
I'm basically 30 years old, bro. I'm getting old.
And the other thing is, I don't think I have that much trouble to able to express some of my things that happen in my life now. I don't think it's like you said, it happens around me, not to me.
Exactly. That's also one thing. Like nothing damaging to myself has ever happened to the point where. Because I always think the reason why I don't talk about it is like it's someone else's thing.
It's someone else, bro.
It's just dropping down to me.
Like when people are having COVID and stuff and they got all sad and stuff like that. Yeah, it's sad that you're suffering, bro. But there's nothing I can do about it. So I moved on. And then I hear people crying, oh my dad is COVID, oh this is happening, oh this is I'm like, nigga. I don't care.
Hey.
There's nothing I can do about it. Maybe that's also the problem. We accept it way too easy.
Okay, aggression and dominance, obviously. This one is the main one. Everyone knows this one.
Aggression
and dominance. So it would be using power, control, or violence as a way to assert authority.
Yeah, that's shitty though. Yeah. I think there's a different way of being dominant than actually using violence. I think guys that use violence, strength,
their physical strength.
Yeah, in order to gain the upper hand, they are actually weaker than they actually think they are.
Yeah, facts.
That's the only feminist thing that I can say out loud and be like, yeah, I actually agree, bruh. Some of the other stuff I'm like, but this and this, but this and this. But aggression and violence itself, using that as a man against a woman, or being weaker than you, a child, to assert dominance.
I think there's like a line. So if you cross that line, there's a line between becoming toxic and being just a problem that you need to work on. Now, once you cross that line, in everything it's toxic. For, how do we say? We said for hyper competitiveness. It's when I think when you drive people away or when it's
Or you can't acknowledge
Can't
that
acknowledge whatever.
someone is better than you.
Yeah. in the how did you say that?
Yeah, I forgot to talk a lot.
We talked a lot, but anyways. So yeah, in the emotional suppression, I think it becomes toxic. Whereas you think you can't vent because
It's weak.
it's weak, and you don't want people to see you as weak, and you can't express a side of you. You're allowed to express a side of you.
Yeah. But you're not allowed to take the camera and cry on the camera.
Ooh, guys, please don't do that. Don't do that.
100%. When a female does it, I cringe. But when a nigga does it, bro, I judge.
I don't understand.
Nigga, look at me. I'm 100% judging you if you cry on the camera. Unless it's someone else that pinned the camera to you when you were crying there.
It's like I don't understand.
But
you upset, crying,
And then you have to find an anger.
as you're crying, you are stopping. You are stopping what you're crying, everything, the emotions, and you're like, gotta set this up. You're like, okay, here's perfect.
Wait, the lighting is not good.
Then you have to be like, okay, videos. Then you gotta be okay, video, into the video, okay, play. And you're like, and then switch it off. You probably have to do some cuts. Put on your music, whatever you want, and then still post it.
The editing, man. The part when they edit music into the video, and it's when it's on IG, you can see when someone put a video in there on top.
Yeah.
But when the video already has, bro, you had to go into CapCut, you had to go and work, you had to look for the song, you were looking at the thing. Nigga.
All that just to tell people you're sad and crying in a car.
I understand. The only thing that I understand is when you're telling a story, maybe someone asks you, and you're trying to explain a story, and then you suddenly cry.
Yeah, as you're busy explaining,
And then you get emotional.
Yeah, I understand that one. You weren't emotional at that point, but
You are crying, then you're sitting up there.
y'all need help, bruh. Y'all need help.
Bomba clap. That's what I can say to you.
Okay, so on to this is the last trait that people see as toxic masculinity, misogyny, and that is seeing feminism, all those things as inferior.
Not inferior, but they belong in the kitchen. Okay, that's a clip. I was lying. I just needed the clip.
Hey guys, listen. I don't know this guy. Yeah, I run this thing on my own. I don't know this guy. He just popped up.
He just wanted nothing.
I'll make sure he's out, guys. My apologies, sincere apologies. Dang.
Bro, we need the comments, bro. We need the comments. I need to get someone, man. I need to get someone, man, bro. I don't believe it. I actually want an independent woman, bro.
Hey, but honestly, guys, it's a free channel, bro. Do what you want. You belong in the kitchen.
Like I said, I don't know this guy. But let's talk about it, man. Seeing someone as inferior to you, man, it's crazy, bro. That's a poor complex.
Facts. What I would say is,
but having a preference of having a feminine woman that wants to stay at home, that's a different thing than misogyny. Because I see women going like, oh, what do you mean you want your wife to be at house? And like, if the nigga wants a woman, yeah, that stays at house and takes care of his kids, yeah, that's his preference. Because if your preference is a guy that has 6 figures and that is 6 foot tall, that's your preference. That is your preference. At the end of the day, if the woman wants a guy that's 6 foot, that's her preference. If the guy wants someone that is not fat, that's his preference.
I get you.
Like for instance, for me, I kind of want a woman that can do her own thing, and stand on her own feet, and have her own money or source of income, but would let me take care of her. Like it's not needed for me to take care of her, but she'd let me take care of her. Like she has her own money, she has her own thing. But if I'm like, oh, like, baby, let me take care of you eat, or like, let me pay for the rest of it, and she's like,
I get you.
Type.
I get you.
And I also want a woman at the end of the day to raise our children, because one of us at least needs to be able to install our principles into this child. Because the things I'm seeing online and the way these people are teaching other people's children behind their backs.
The thing about you can try and raise your kid as much as you like to, but you can't control whatever they experience outside your home.
Yeah,
So
but I'm also meaning like at home, when the child is like if both of us are busy and the child is raised by a nanny,
nanny puts
her characteristics into the child, and then the child learns something else at school, and then the child doesn't know of what we think is wrong, or like what we said was like between wrong and right and whatever.
I
And
get
then the
you.
child just
Yeah.
intakes. Because the child at the end of the day is going to take like, oh, mommy and daddy said this is wrong, so I'm not going to listen to this person. Because mommy and daddy said like, this isn't how things are going. Because I can't, bro, I've seen in the classes, they are brainwashing children. I saw it's always Americans brainwashing children and telling them like it's okay to change your gender as small as you are. Like if you want to be a girl,
Yeah,
be a
America
girl.
has gotten like that. But hey, they got a new president, Donald Trump.
Not new, an old president came back.
Hey, he's a new president.
But you see what I mean about like I want.
But
And I think the woman will do a better job than me to be able to
communicate
with a child.
Communicate the principles that you want installed into the child.
Like that we want, because obviously you would have some of that
Yeah, okay. What if you had different,
ideologies and so stuff, then I don't think it would click.
but sometimes different ideologies can click.
I argue too much.
Hey, but that's also true. But where we were misogyny, seeing feminism and all that thing is
All the
inferior. Yeah, that's a toxic trait.
That is a toxic trait, but they throw the word out a situation that ain't like.
Yeah, sometimes you guys overuse it. Like,
Oh, this is misogynistic. Oh, you're misogynistic. You can't even spell misogynistic. Shut up.
some of us can't even pronounce it.
Shut up.
So I think that the fact that you said when it comes to this preference and
there's-
sometimes y'all see men's preference as a way of trying to be misogynistic. It's not. It's just the nigga's preference. Same way as you like Mr. Eds. Don't want the nigga to be bald. I don't know where that came from. And you know, off topic. There's something that's called head fishing.
That is.
I was so shocked.
Now that you said it, there is. Because a bald nigga with a cap looks different than a without the cap.
Yeah, I was like head fishing. I was like, oh, what's that? It's about a bald nigga with a cap. I'm like, huh?
You see what I mean?
Wow.
I click it. There's something they call this wig fishing too. Because hair changes everything. Hair changes everything.
Makeup.
And guys also, a nigga with a good cut looks way better than with him on his.
I'm that nigga.
Nigga, you
I'm that
can
nigga.
see me.
That's why you haven't seen my head in how long?
Because I'm like this. Because when I get my hair braided and shit, you're gonna be all on my dick. Then I'm gonna go to the shop, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, you see that?
Okay, let's wrap this episode up. So we've now seen the positive traits and the negative traits. So seeing the two, talking about the two, we get now to the question that was laid before us, and the title of this video is toxic masculinity disappearing. So do you think it's disappearing?
I think there's more of a balance now.
There's more of a balance.
It can never disappear.
Now,
There is
when we say disappearing, we just mean
I don't
getting less.
No, actually, I think niggas are getting more feminine. I think niggas are being forced to get more feminine, and then people notice the toxic masculinity, because obviously it's gonna get worse. Let me say it like this: it's gonna get worse because the other side of the man that is more feminine and whatever. So the guy that stands on his strong suit is gonna also be known as a toxic masculine man or something like that. Because if
I get you.
if you as you are don't open up, man, she's gonna call you toxic. And as me, just make an example, as me that opens up to her and whatever, she's gonna be like, but that's normal, that's masculine. He's able to open up and whatever. But both niggas are masculine, and you ain't toxic because you can't open up and whatever. It's just harder for you to be able to go to that point. So I think toxic masculine men, are gonna be the man that stands on their points at the end of the day.
So you think, yeah. So the old view of the old
View of toxic
toxic masculinity, you say, is fading, but now it's
And
shifting into
to a different view.
a different.
Like people
view.
are obviously getting more sensitive and more soft and blah. So a guy that's been like, oh, I don't want to date a fat chick, or I don't want to date a girl that's way under what, or like I prefer white woman. I prefer black woman. I don't want to
I
date.
get you.
That shit gonna get
I get
more
you, I
and
get
more
you.
and more
But so anyway,
toxic.
obviously we're not niggas that talk to females, but
Whoa!
in this
Hold up, that sounds way out of pocket. We are not niggas that scared to the toxic from me. It makes me sound like we only talk to men, nigga.
okay, we have no female connections.
Say we can't pull, just say we.
No, it's not, it has nothing to do with pulling. It's just in general, bro. How many females in your context do you talk to? Exactly. But anyways,
Like my DMs though.
nah, slide your phone away, nigga. But anyways, I asked someone,
All that.
a female, because obviously,
I need to put in the password, nigga. Hold up. My phone kind of glitching.
obviously, this podcast is just two dudes saying their things from a dude's perspective. So
Or from our perspective, because not all men will agree with us.
it is what it is. It's my opinion.
It's my
That's why it's
opinion.
my opinion. That's why it's called my opinion.
And that's why it's called my podcast.
And if you have a better opinion, drop it in the comments. But here's the thing: if your opinion ain't written from a learning point of view, I'ma diss you. So, like, if you write me, what Keenan said at what time was wrong, I disagree. Tell me why. Just don't say disagree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll come back with you. With your mama looks ugly.
Nigga, what the nigga mama do you know?
I'm joking. Just comment.
Niggas mama ain't doing that. You're like, your mom's ugly, nigga.
Mom, I didn't even see the nigga's mom. I don't even know how the nigga looks like.
Mom, be your mom. Hey, I'm
But
your
anyway.
mom. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like I said, so let's get some female opinions.
Opinions.
Actually asked quite a few females, but honestly, females get better at communicating. But yeah, let's go. Or maybe I should ask feminists next time.
Do you know feminists?
Yeah, I know like a few. I've had like heated conversations with a few.
You know what our problem is? Maybe it's my fault. I just thought about it. I cut off a lot of people. Or at least I don't have the communication with a lot. Because I think I could have done like an interview type and had it all.
The thing is, I never actually cut off people. I always leave a door open.
I don't think I've cut. I don't go like as when I change my numbers. I didn't go out of my mouth to get this.
Nah, I also don't do that.
I didn't go out of my mouth to get this people number, baby.
I don't do that.
Like half of the people don't even know I don't have my.
I also don't do that. The thing is, but I've also had the same number since what year?
Yeah.
So I'm okay. But anyways, this person said, I don't know if I would say it's disappearing, but I would say it shows up less in younger generations than the older ones because of what society currently values. Some would say it's not disappearing because men have just become more manipulative.
She got her heart broken.
Bro, when I read that last one, I was like,
The niggas are starting this. Men are getting smarter. They're using woman techniques now.
she's like,
She was thinking about you.
I'm like,
When you play Devil's Proper like in caps.
the only one in the line, bro. He's the only one in the line.
She's like, you Casey, I'm talking about you. Yeah, but as you could so like the question for the comments would be
I was like, so, but this is like younger generation. I think the younger generation is changing because of what they are
soft parenting.
facts.
It
But
also leads to the
I think-
less masculine males, which could not be a problem, but it also could be a problem.
I think it's like a
And the internet also, because a lot of kids it's like a lot of kids can't go out to play as much as they did when we were children. Yeah? So they don't have time to be roughed up or that stuff. And people that fight these days just stab and shoot each other. Bro.
someone's opinion. Drop your opinion in the comments. And
Like-
before we end off this episode, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the question about what's your explanation of what a toxic man is and a masculine man. Like, what's the balance?
Okay, but anyway, so let's get to sign it off. I just want to hear like 3 things from you, of 3 positive masculine traits that you think are a must have, or not a must have, what you think are important to have to be viewed as
Amen. Okay, do me a leader.
leader.
A leader.
Alright.
You need to be able to lead your household and all those stuff. Yeah? Someone that it's almost worth a leader thing that you need to be able, not dominant, nah, but you need to be able to know how to be dominant, when to be dominant, and when to sit back.
Alright.
You know, because you need. That's the same with a leader. A leader knows when to take the assertive, like the situation, and
I get you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to put you get me, but both they get me though. You see, because they can be
It's also
thinking.
true. One thing I've noticed now, a lot of times when we talk on the pod, we talk. If it's just us.
Yeah, we understand each other. We know each other for 10 years. Bro.
Sometimes I forget there's a camera and there's legit people sitting there and watching us.
For 10 years, I didn't friends.
10 years. Nah. It's
It's
10 years,
almost
bro.
10. Next year is 10, bro.
Now you're lying.
Next year is 10, bro.
So when is it?
16,
16.
25, it's 9 years at this.
Damn!
I know for too long. But like, what I'm saying is like, you know what I mean, because you can catch my drift. They know what I mean. Because that's can be taken out of pocket, right? And then my future wife, you can see it, and then she's like, I'm ignoring that nigga.
Like,
I wanted to slide, but look what he said. You see what I mean? So, yeah. And the third one, what's the third one? A protector.
Protector.
I think
Get you.
it's underrated. In a man, I stand by it. That's why like leadership is like dominant and not dominant like dominant, but you. How do I explain this shit, nigga? But anyways, and a protector. A woman needs to be able to feel safe in your arms. Doesn't matter how skinny you are. Doesn't matter how big as well. It doesn't mean you need to go out to fight. You need to be able to make her feel safe. Like if Jonathan is 6 foot but weighs 32 kilograms or like 60 pounds or whatever, but he's able to make her feel safe emotionally and physically, and it is a man.
Jonathan is a dwarf, but he's still able to do that. He's a man.
He's a man. If he's able to take care of the girl in a way that makes her feel secure, like emotionally, mentally, and physically.
That's the dream. But yeah, I understand the 3 things. Those are, I would say, the best 3 things that you need to have.
You need a camera this side, bro.
Because you need to be looking at the
Yeah,
camera.
because I need to be looking at the camera and you, because when I have conversation, I look at the person that I keep on forgetting, but I'm supposed to be sitting like this and talk like.
But anyways, mine would be, let's see, faith, love, and serving. And I'm heavy on serving because
That's why
as
the dominant side also goes there. You need to be able to know when to and when to step back.
because I'm heavily on serving because we know that times are ending and we're running out. Everybody's going back to their faith. And as you read your Bible, you'll notice that Jesus came and he didn't just came to die for us, but he also came to lay down a blueprint for
Of
how
what
we
it
should
meant.
live this life. And I think, and I read that the best one would be serving, as they would say in, which one was it? I think it was, Mark 10, verse 45. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you could serve, just serve. That was this episode. Chicken noodles.
You know what this one gonna make me look like a toxic man. You like, because you're like, oh, loving, oh, and I'm here like, yeah, he needs to be a leader.
But dominant. I think it's the same point. It's the same 3 points, I think yours is just from a cultural perspective.
I think mine is, I don't know how to put it. Nigga, I need to communicate more with females. Damn, because I can't say shit, right?
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, chicken noodle soup.